Mornings have the power to define the kind of man you show up as in the world. They can set the tone for how you think, how you feel, how you move, and ultimately, how you live. Yet for so many men, mornings are rushed, chaotic, or numbed by autopilot, habit snoozing alarms, gulping down coffee, scrolling through a screen, and diving headfirst into stress. What most don't realize is that those first 60 minutes after waking up are some of the most critical for your hormones, your brain chemistry, and your long-term health. If you've ever wondered why you feel foggy, fatigued, or disconnected even after a full night's sleep, the answer might not be in how long you re-sleeping, but in how you're starting your day. A powerful morning routine doesn't begin with motivation. It begins with rhythm. Your body thrives on predictability. Testosterone, cortisol, and dopamine, the three hormones most responsible for energy, drive, and performance, all follow a natural daily rhythm. The way you begin your day can either support these rhythms or disrupt them. And for men over 30, 40, and beyond, learning to work with your body instead of against it is no longer optional, it's essential. The world will keep demanding more. The question is, will you meet those demands from a place of strength and clarity, or from exhaustion and reactivity? It all begins the moment you wake up. The first thing you do matters more than you think. Your brain is coming out of theta, the deep, dream-like state where your subconscious is most active. You're highly This is not the time to check the news or emails or social media. Doing so floods your brain with cortisol, spikes anxiety, and trains your nervous system to expect stress. Instead, what your body needs in those first few minutes is stillness and oxygen. Before your feet even touch the ground, take a few slow, deep breaths. Let your awareness return to your body. Scan it gently. Stretch if needed. These small actions help bring your nervous system online without shock or chaos. Hydration is your next priority. You've gone 7 or 8 hours without water. Your cells are thirsty, your brain is dehydrated, and your metabolism is waiting for its signal to start the engine. Skip the coffee for now. Start with a tall glass of water, ideally with a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon. This replenishes electrolytes, flushes out waste, and signals your body to wake up naturally. For men especially, hydration affects everything from cognitive clarity to testosterone production. Even mild dehydration can reduce focus, increase irritability, and lower libido. You don't need a supplement for that, just water. But timing it right makes all the difference. Now comes the movement, not a full workout, but activation. This is about waking up your body and telling it, we're ready. 5 to 10 minutes of light stretching, mobility work, or body weight movement is enough to circulate blood, loosen joints, and start the metabolic fire. Think of it as flipping the switch. When you move early, you prime your muscles, your endocrine system, and your mind for performance. You lower inflammation. You boost dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for motivation, and you create momentum. Momentum is everything, because when you start strong, the rest of the day has a direction. But energy isn't just physical, it's also chemical. What you put into your body in the first hour can either sharpen you or slow you down. Many men reach for a heavy breakfast or a high-sugar snack, thinking it'll give them fuel, but what they get instead is a glucose spike, followed by a crash. If your morning meals leave you feeling sluggish or unfocused by 10 a.m., it's time to rethink your fuel. The best breakfast for focus and stamina is one that balances protein, healthy fats, and minimal refined carbs. A few eggs, some avocado, maybe a little greens, or nuts. These kinds of meals help stabilize blood sugar, support hormone production, and keep your energy steady without needing constant snacks or caffeine. Now, let's talk sunlight. One of the most underrated parts of any morning routine is exposure to natural light. Within 30 to 60 minutes of waking, your eyes should be seeing real daylight. Not just for your mood, but for your biology. Sunlight regulates your circadian rhythm, boosts serotonin, and even plays a role in testosterone regulation. It's a cue that tells your body, this is the start of the day. Without that cue, your internal clock gets confused. You feel groggy during the day and wired at night. Even 10 minutes of sunlight on your face, whether it's a walk around the block or standing by a window, can realign your system in powerful ways. This is also the perfect window for stillness. Before the distractions begin, before you check messages or open your calendar, give your mind a moment of clarity, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in silence. This space helps you become proactive instead of reactive. You set your own tone, you direct your own energy. And as a man in a demanding world, this self-command isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. A few minutes of mindfulness every morning builds resilience. It clears the fog. It strengthens the inner muscle that lets you stay calm when everything around you feels fast. With your body activated, hydrated, and aligned with natural light. The final step in building a performance-driven morning is mental clarity and intention. And this starts with one simple but often skipped question. What do I want from today? Not just in terms of tasks, but in how you want to feel, how you want to show up, and what kind of energy you want to carry into the world. Too many men operate on autopilot, driven by outside demands, never checking in with their own internal compass. But high-performance living starts from the inside. When you begin the day by anchoring into purpose, everything else becomes sharper. One of the most effective ways to build this clarity is through a 5-minute journaling habit. Not a diary, not a list of everything you need to do, but a simple practice of writing down 3 things. What you're grateful for, what you're focused on, and how you intend to carry yourself. Why gratitude? Because it shifts your brain out of survival mode. It primes your mindset to see opportunity instead of threat. Why focus? Because energy without direction is wasted. And why intention? Because masculinity isn't just about action, it's about alignment. How you move through the world matters, and when your actions match your values, that's where real power lives. From there, if you do drink coffee or tea, now is the time. After water, movement, and light, your body is primed to respond better to caffeine. Your cortisol levels have naturally peaked, and the caffeine will work with not against your system. But quality matters. If your morning energy depends on sugar-filled drinks or multiple cups just to feel normal, you're not energized, you're medicating exhaustion. A clean, high-quality source of caffeine in moderation can sharpen focus, improve mood, and even support fat metabolism. But it's a tool, not a crutch. Use it wisely. Now, let's address one of the most overlooked aspects of performance: your mental diet. Just like what you put in your body, what you feed your mind in the morning shapes how you think and feel for the rest of the day. If the first thing you consume is negativity, doom-scrolling news, chaotic messages, or mindless noise, you're training your brain to operate from fear and distraction. But if you start your day with something nourishing and inspiring, podcast, a page from a book that challenges you, or even a few affirmations, you strengthen your mind. You train your focus. You choose what shapes you, instead of being shaped by everything else. This mental priming doesn't just affect your mood, it affects your biology. Positive emotional states increase dopamine, strengthen immune function, and improve heart rate variability. That means your brain, your heart, and your hormones all benefit. And as you repeat this process daily, your morning becomes more than a routine, it becomes a personal operating system. One that's designed not just for productivity, but for presence. For energy that lasts beyond 10 a.m. For confidence that's rooted in how you feel, not just what you achieve. Here's the beauty of this entire approach. It's customizable. You don't need a strict hour-long checklist. You don't need to copy someone else's habits from a podcast or productivity blog. What you need is rhythm, intention, and consistency. Maybe your morning routine takes 15 minutes. Maybe it takes 45. What matters is that it includes the core elements: presence, hydration, movement, light, fuel, and focus. That's the formula. How you execute it depends on your lifestyle. But once you commit to it, truly commit, you'll begin to notice something remarkable. You'll stop dragging yourself through the day. You'll stop reacting to every external pressure. You'll start responding with clarity. You'll feel lighter in your body and sharper in your thinking. You'll be able to show up fully, not just for your work, but for your relationships, your passions, and your own inner growth. And the best part, it will no longer feel like effort. It will feel like alignment. Here's the shift that happens when you start mastering your mornings. Your day no longer controls you, you control your day, and that one change impacts everything. You're no longer chasing energy through caffeine crashes, trying to catch up on focus halfway through the afternoon, or wondering why your motivation feels unpredictable. You've built a stable foundation and your body rewards you for it. But here's the deeper truth that most men don't realize. Your morning routine isn't just about energy or productivity. It's about identity. Every action you take in those first minutes of the day is casting a vote for the kind of man you are becoming. Are you the man who reacts to chaos, or the one who builds calm? Are you surviving the day or designing it? Your morning routine is a reflection of your self-respect. When you commit to it, even in small ways, you're reinforcing a powerful message to yourself. I matter. My health matters. My future matters. That mindset begins to ripple into every other part of your life. You start making better choices during the day, not because you're trying to be perfect, but because you're operating from strength, not stress. You eat cleaner, not out of guilt, but because you recognize how different your body feels. You say no to distractions more easily, because your focus isn't fragile. You show up more present in your relationships, because you're not constantly running on fumes. The morning routine doesn't just optimize your body, it transforms your relationship with time, with discipline. Now, none of this means you have to be robotic. Life happens. Some mornings will be chaotic, some nights will be short. But once this routine becomes a habit, a rhythm you'll feel when you're out of alignment, and you'll be able to reset quickly. That's the difference between discipline and punishment. Discipline is not rigid. It's supportive, it's flexible, it's about having a home base you can return to, no matter how hectic life gets. And if you're just starting this journey, don't let perfection stop you. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. or follow some influencer's checklist. All you need is to choose one small change, just one, and make it consistent. Maybe it's drinking water before coffee. Maybe it's stepping into sunlight each morning. Maybe it's 5 minutes of stretching or silence. That one action builds momentum, and momentum builds identity. Over time, you won't just feel different, you'll become different. You'll look in the mirror and see a man who honors his body, who protects his energy, and who leads his life with clarity and power. That's what a morning routine can do, not just improve your mornings, but change your life. So the question is no longer, what's the best way to start the day? The real question is, what kind of man do you want to be when you wake up tomorrow? Because your answer doesn't begin in your goals. It begins in your morning.